Warning, this video is an opinion piece. The opinions stated in this video are mine and mine alone, and please keep in mind I will be making a lot of broad generalizations about the series. The Legend of Zelda is a franchise held dear to many people, with a fan community that is both insanely wild and incredibly rational and everything in between. It's a series that has touched the hearts of many gamers and has somehow managed to stay relevant now after even 30 years. How has this series stayed so magical? Well, as a testament to my own fanness, please allow me to indulge in geeking out for a few minutes to hopefully explore why this series means so much to me. You may not see many iconic video game characters and think, that guy is just like me. Even looking at Link, at first glance, he probably doesn't look like somebody who you have a ton in common with. What with the sword and being chosen by the gods and wielding legendary weapons, it all seems too fantastical to be relatable. Well, at first glance, maybe. However, once you start playing the games, it's quite apparent that Link is meant to be just that, a link between the player and the game. At least to me. Link is the everyman. Link is the role that you step into. With a couple of exceptions, which are basically the direct sequel titles, every game sets you up with very little at the beginning of your journey. You don't begin the game with someone waking Link up and saying, "Hey Link, you're the hero, so go save the day." Well, okay, sometimes you do. But instead you wake up to just another day in Link's life. Link is just a normal guy. A farm worker, a student, or just a kid living out his days. Link is just a normal person, not an elite trained knight, not a prince, just a boy. You begin your journey with very little, often not even a sword or shield, but through your journey, you grow stronger as you learn new skills, find new gear, and conquer bigger and badder adversaries. So even though by the end of the game, you learn that you are the legendary hero, it doesn't seem like it's crazy out of place. It isn't just heaped on you. You have to fight your way there and earn it. It's a classic hero's journey. Although the hero's journey is a trope that is well played out, in the context of this franchise, it works exceedingly well. A lot of these memories are pretty foggy, and I'm sure there's some stuff I'll have missed or glossed over, but I'll do my best. Some of my earliest childhood memories are of two games in particular: Super Mario World and, naturally, A Link to the Past. I remember playing these games and never getting very far, but the immersion I felt in A Link to the Past is something that is a big part of my personal history with gaming. I was so young, and just walking around and exploring a whole new world was amazing for me. Sometime later we got our N64 and with it a couple of great games, but one in particular that will always have a special place in my heart is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Again, I was still quite young, and playing around in this game, it took me months of not even being able to get past Queen Goma. But when I finally beat the first dungeon boss and got to see that cutscene, explaining the Triforce and the goddesses and Hyrule's creation, I was sucked right in. I spent years playing basically just this game over and over and over again. I loved it. I even liked the water temple. I learned every inch of this game. My whole family loved this game, but I don't think they got sucked into it the way I did. This game defined my childhood for me. I love this game so much that even when I wasn't playing Zelda, I still found a way to play Zelda. I have 3 older brothers, so often it was a competition to get to use the TV or to play video games. I took to my own imagination often, which these games helped to ignite. My brother and I used to run around outside or on the playground and pretend to go on adventures, and yes, I used to pretend that I was Link. It's so nerdy, it's painful, but that is not even the extent of my obsession with Zelda. Sometime later we got a GameCube, and a friend of mine got theirs as well, but with her GameCube came this special edition collector's disc. The disc came with Ocarina of Time, which I knew like the back of my hand at this point, but also Majora's Mask, and the first 2 Zelda games. I'd heard a lot about all of them, so I borrowed it and I spent hours on that disc. First thing was the demo for Wind Waker, which I played numerous times, but it lost its charm because you only get 20 minutes before having to end the demo. But we'll get back to the Wind Waker in a moment. I played the NES originals, but as a kid I lost interest in them because I found them to be too difficult. Don't worry, I would revisit them later and play through them fully. Majora's Mask was a joy for me though, but I only got about halfway through the game before I had to return it to my friend. It wouldn't be for another couple of years before my sister-in-law gave me my own cartridge of Majora's Mask, and it quickly became one of my favorite Zelda games, or at least for a while it was my favorite. I'm really not sure what order it is now. One Christmas I opened up a gift to find the Wind Waker. I remember seeing trailers for this game and being confused by it. I didn't really understand the Zelda timeline at this point, and the idea behind there being several incarnations of Link and Zelda was strange for me. This didn't look like a Zelda game, it looked like a cartoon. Once I started playing the aforementioned demos and started playing my own copy, it all didn't matter. I was swept into the adventure again, and this game, in my opinion, has aged a lot better than a lot of the other games of the time because of its imaginative art style. A while later, trailers started popping up on the internet for a new Zelda game with horseback combat and monsters and excitement, and I was back all over the hype train, and when Twilight Princess came out, I was freaking out with excitement. I played this game to death as well. You wouldn't believe the hours I spent on it. Around this time, I started doing what I called Zeldathons. Every year for maybe 4 years during the summer, when I had no school, I would binge play every Zelda game that I owned. Another birthday sometime later, I got my Nintendo DS, my very first handheld console, and with my DS I got Phantom Hourglass, and the adventure was just as great as before, except it was also great that I could take it with me. Then Spirit Tracks came out and took everything I liked about Phantom Hourglass and just took all the good stuff and made it better. I played Spirit Tracks through so many times. My last Zeldathon was a bit later when I got Skyward Sword. I was an adult at this point, I had moved out, and I had become one of those crazy timeline theorists you hear about. I never published anything on the internet about it, but I definitely had a wall covered in sticky notes at one point. But then we all got an official timeline with Hyrule Historia, and it got me so excited. I played every game I could get my hands on, but in chronological order this time, well, more or less because of the splits and all. Then A Link Between Worlds. Man, what a trip back. The nostalgia for me was wild. Going back to Hyrule as it was in A Link to the Past, how I remember it from my earliest childhood memories, and exploring the world on a brand new adventure, it was magical. Fast forward to where I am now. I'm married, I'm a dad, and I'm still a big Zelda fan. And it brings me so much joy to share the adventures that I've had with my son. I started making my own gaming related videos on YouTube, originally with the intent of sharing my love for games, especially Zelda games. In fact, one of those videos was what got me the position of Nintendo Prime. Now we've been getting these 3D and HD remakes of older games coming out, and my son and I have started playing games like Twilight Princess HD together. It's a wonderful time sharing and bonding over these games, or just looking through the books on Zelda we have together. even if all he really does is wander around Hyrule Field killing bokoblins. I can't wait until the day when my son tells me about his earliest childhood memories playing Twilight Princess with me. Don't get me wrong, I spend all this time reading or theorizing on the series because I'm a fan, and I buy all this merchandise and collect all these things because, again, I'm a fan, but my buying power is not what makes me a fan. If it were, I'd own every Zelda game, and I don't. I'd own every amiibo if I could, but I don't. Buying these things doesn't make me a bigger fan than you, and you know, your collection doesn't make you a bigger fan than me either. It's all about how Zelda has touched your heart. And let me say that as far as games that I'll always come back to goes, as far as games that have had a huge impact on my life goes, or games that have fueled my dreams and my sense of adventure and the type of games that I love, Zelda is my number one. Always. Anytime the stress of life comes around or I need to escape back to adventure, sometimes it just feels good to be the hero again. Soon, Breath of the Wild will be here, and I can assure you that as soon as I get my hands on that adventure as well, you might not ever see me again. Because I'll be locked up playing it. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, maybe give it a like and subscribe to Nintendo Prime for more videos like this one. Oh, and make sure to check out some of our other videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.